Hi, I'm Michty Maxx and I'm here to share this Get Ready With Me for the Rolling Stones gig. I wanted to do something different with a really heavy lower lash line and not do any winged eyeliner or anything like that. So I came up with this look using a lot of Urban Decay and Sugarpill products. I chose the colors red, white and black to represent the famous tongue and lips. To start this look off, I'm going to prime my lids with Too Faced Shadow Insurance, applying that all over my eyelids. Then I'm going to grab Urban Decay's 24/7 eye pencil in Woodstock and create a cut crease. I'm going to start towards my inner corner and draw above my natural crease, creating this curved shape, joining it up to the lash line on the outer edge. After sketching it out, I'm going to intensify that line and colour in the outer corner. Then I'm using the Sugarpill lip brush to blend that line out. I'm using short strokes and blending the upper edge of the lash line towards my brow. You can also use a bit of sideways motion too. Basically, you want to make sure that the lower edge of this line is sharp and the upper edge is blended nicely. Then I'm taking the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette and using the Deluxe Crease Brush from Real Techniques to apply Strange to my brow bone. I'm taking this all the way into the inner corner and applying it now to help blend out the crease colours. Then for some hot red action, I'm going into the Urban Decay Electric palette and taking some slow burn on the blending end of the Naked 3 brush, and I'm applying that to my crease. I'm taking that all over the pencil and blending it into Strange. I'm trying to keep the lid bare, but you can clean that up later or use a Q-tip to clean up the shadow now. I'm buffing on this pigment till I get the opacity I want, and then I'm going back in with the Deluxe Crease Brush to blend out the edges, with a bit more Strange to overlap the shade. Going back and forth between your crease shade and your brow bone highlight can help you get the perfect blend you desire. After the process of layering Strange and Slow Burn, I'm going to deepen up the cut crease area with this Sugarpill eyeshadow called Love Plus. I'm going back in with the Sugarpill lip brush and applying this darker red shadow directly to the cut crease and blending it up into Slow Burn, once again using short upwards motions to blend out the shade. I'm concentrating this on the outer edge and closest to the cut crease line, as I said. Now to give that a good fade, I'm going back into Slow Burn and the fluffy end of the Naked 3 brush and blending out Love Plus. I love the combination of these two colours because it gives the deepness of Love Plus with the neon properties of Slow Burn. Now onto the lid, I'm going to use NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk and apply it all over the space that's left. I'm dabbing the product on the bulk of the space and I can clean up the edges later. I'm taking my finger to blend in the white creamy product, and to make sure it's even, I'm using the Mini Sigma Eye Shading E55 brush. I'm adding a bit more of NYX Milk and patting that in with the eye shading brush. Then I'm going into the Sugarpill Cold Chemistry palette and grabbing the shadow Diamond Eyes, then applying it over the white base with the Sigma Eye Shading E55 brush. The round end of this brush is helping me keep the oval shape to my eyelid. Then I'm going back in with the Sugarpill lip brush with no extra product to crispen up the edges. Crispy. I'm also using that to drag some more Sugarpill Love Plus along the lash line. I'm making sure there's nice contrast between the red cut crease line and the white shimmery lid shade. Then I'm using a bit more Urban Decay Strange to blend out the inner edge of the brow bone with that Deluxe Crease Brush from Real Techniques. Now for the inner corner highlight, I'm using Milani Liquify Metallic Eyeliner Pencil in Silver and applying that to the tear duct area. I'm taking that up to meet the inner crease and a little bit onto the lid. I'm using my finger to pat that in, but still leaving quite a stark highlight. Now back to the electric palette, and I'm grabbing the Silver Shade Revolt with the Sigma Shader Lid E56 brush and applying that over the pencil. I'm blending that silver shadow slightly onto the lid and also up into the inner crease, either side of the cut crease red line. Then for a touch of liquid liner, I'm using the Urban Decay 24/7 liquid liner in Perversion and applying a very thin line along both my lash lines. I'm not going for any wing here, but I am making the outer edge slightly thicker than the inner side. Now for some more Love Plus, I'm going to intensify that along the lash line with the Sugarpill lip brush. And I'm making sure you can see it above the black line. And here I'm actually thickening up the outer edge. I'm going to use my Inglot AMC Gel Liner in 77 and the end of this pointed cotton bud to apply some blackness to my waterline and tight line, and also smudge that all over my lower lash line. I'm making sure to get it in between all my eyelashes and using the other end to blend it out quite far. You can also use your finger and just make sure you get a nice faded edge. I'm also adding some smudged black eyeliner to the outer edge of my lash line too. And here I'm going over the tight line and blending out some more. Back into the electric palette once again, and I'm grabbing Slow Burn on that same brush and blending below the black. Now to set that black gel eyeliner, I'm using the Sigma eyeshadow in Eiffel and applying that with the Sigma E21 smudge brush. I'm also taking that on the outer corner of the top lash line too. I'm taking that pretty far down and blending it out into the red. And to blend that out further, I'm using the Urban Decay Naked 3 brush again. And I'm also adding a bit more slow burn around the crease too. As usual, it's all about blending and layering. I'm buffing around the whole eyeshadow shape with the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush and a bit of Strange again. And I'm also making sure that outer edge is nice and dark. Now I'm curling my eyelashes before taking out my CoverGirl Clump Crusher mascara and applying that to my top and bottom lashes. And I'm making sure I get a couple of good coats on. I'm just rubbing my finger along the lower lashes so they don't transfer any mascara onto my skin. I wanted to go back in and blend some more of the silver shade Revolt over onto the black on the lower lash line, and also taking that up further into the inner crease. Then for shits and giggles and obsession, I went in one more time with Love Plus, Slow Burn, and Strange to make sure the cut crease was as sharp as possible on the lower end and buffed out wonderfully on the top side. Then I quickly did my brows with Benefit Browsings in Light, and I went in with the wax side first, and then combed through my brows, and then set that with the powder side. I'm just using the tiny brushes that come with the kit. I'm leaving the brows natural but intense enough to match the dramatic makeup. And then to keep the hairs in place, I ran through them with Benefit Gimme Brow in Light/Medium. And now I'm using a makeup wipe to clean up the fallout, which gets all over my face in very strange places. Then for my face, I'm going to do my usual foundation routine, which is linked in the description box. But quickly, I'm going to prime my face with Benefit Professional, and then apply Bourjois Healthy Mix Foundation in 51 Light Vanilla with the Sedona Lace 928 Flat Top Kabuki brush. Then for concealer, I'm using MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NC15, and setting all that with the Purely Cosmetics Diamond Perfect Finish Powder and the Sigma Large Powder F30 brush. I'm also using the Real Techniques Setting Brush for around the eyes. I'm blending that powder around the eyeshadow to make sure it still looks perfectly blended, and also going back in with the Naked 3 brush with the leftover slow burn to add to that effect. And a bit more buffing with the Deluxe Crease Brush too. Now for the cheeks, I'm going to highlight with the NARS Albatross Highlighter and the Hakuhodo S113 brush. I'm applying that to the tops of my cheeks and also my Cupid's bow. Then for blush, I'm using NARS Orgasm and the Real Techniques Blush Brush. I'm applying that along my cheekbones from the apples of my cheeks to my hairline and a bit up towards the temples. I like how the gold tones in this kind of contrast with the silver highlights I've used on the eyes. Then to buff out the edges of the blush, I'm going to use the Sedona Lace Kabuki brush. To set all that stuff in place, I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. Now I'm going to use the Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water and this cotton bud to remove any foundation or powder on my lips. Then I'm going to prime my lips with the MAC Prep and Prime Lip Base. While I was waiting for that to set, I messed around with my Rolling Stones pin that I got back in 2006. Then I'm going to use the MAC Lip Pencil in Cherry and outline my lips, shape them, then fill them in. This is going to totally make sure that my lips last through the whole night of singing along. I'm removing the excess lip pencil between my lips with a cotton bud. For my main lip color, I'm going to use Lime Crime Velveteen in Suede Berry because it's an awesome bright red shade. I'm wiping off the excess on the applicator and applying it to the bulk of my lips. I thought it would match the slow burn on my eyes quite nicely. Then I'm pressing my lips together to distribute the product. I haven't gone all the way up to the edges because I wanted to use the Lime Crime Velveteen in Red Velvet, which is a nice deeper red shade, and then apply that to the outer perimeter. I wiped off most of the product on the doe foot applicator and then carefully applied this around the edge of my lips and also the corners, giving a kind of pouty gradient lip. These shades blend really well into each other, and I pressed my lips together to make sure it was seamless. I cleaned up the edges a bit with a cotton bud. Then for a bit of fun, I took my Duo Lash Glue and this red rhinestone from Born Pretty, then used a pointed Q-tip to apply the lash glue to my beauty spot, and then I used the tweezers to apply the rhinestone to give myself some sparkly face bling. And I used my finger to press down to make sure it was secure, and it stayed on the entire gig. And there you have it, my makeup that I wore to the Rolling Stones gig. We had the awesome tickets in the tongue pit, and we were so close you could see the wrinkles, and some say you could taste them. And I paired this makeup with an all-black outfit with a red leather jacket. Nothing too fancy, but it was fun either way. And yes, of course, I did wear my little lips badge to the gig. I'm so happy it was sitting on my desk and just waiting to be played with. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Get Ready With Me tutorial, and subscribe for more dramatic videos.
Click the little boxes if you want to see other tutorials of mine.
You can check out my social media linked in the description box. I'm Michty M everywhere, and I'll see you there. Also check iTunes for my podcast and music.